apologize. Okay, so we start again. We're talking about sessions. We're trying to explain what sessions is. And before I tell you why we need sessions and why is it important, so I'm trying to tell you that every PHP file, so this is a PHP file, this is another PHP file. So you log in, you pass in, no, let me remove that. This is a password, username. Let me put that in like that. And this is the password. So the user put the username and password. And for you to validate that, you have to connect to the MySQL, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a connection that you do. You retrieve all the information about the user, whether he is student, teacher, and whatsoever. And then, okay, and then you confirm that it is a correct information, and then you forward the user. You move the user to another page, which is the dashboard, where he can access his real information, like lessons, exercises, and so on. But when you move the user from here to here, everything that you retrieved here is lost, except if you try to save information inside a session. So session, it is a place where you can store information and pass it from one page to another. So not only that, the information that you store in a session will always persist as long as the user is using your website. So I will show you how you can use that. So this is very important. So when you retrieve the data from here, you make a SQL query here, and then you retrieve the data back. You need to save the important data, not the password, maybe possible the username and maybe the user ID. So the user ID, you are able to very important, because, or even a student ID. So using that, you are able to trace back the scores of the student, what lessons he have done, what he haven't done, and so on. So from here, you will get a user ID. You need to save that. How you can save that? So we use sessions, like we said. So for example, let me just give you an example. So although this is not a perfect example, but it will just work on showing you what is it. So to be able to start sessions, you have to call session start. So, and then you use something like that. So this is a format that you always use. So did you remember anything about arrays in Java, for example? We didn't take arrays, right? Not yet.
No, not yet.
But do you understand what, I mean, any idea about how this format looks like?
I might have to refresh my memory on that.
Okay, so, but anyhow, if you want to save anything inside the session, you choose the name that you would like. This is like, imagine it like a variable name. This is a fixed keyword that belong to PHP. So you always use this format. You have to always use a square bracket. And inside the square bracket, you have to use double quotation, and you put your variable name. So this variable name, you will use it to store the information that you want. So we are storing what? John Doe inside the username. We are storing this John at example email at email. So where this data is stored inside the session. So session is a place that is inside the memory that will have the username, email, and logged in. So you see, this logged in is actually a Boolean. If I can understand if you get confused from this information, it's totally fine. The most important thing after you finish my class is that you go and try this, not in your project, outside your project, outside the project. You need to test if this really works or not. I am not able to make you test that immediately on the spot. I just give you directions on this project. So, and I need to give you the important topics. And also, I need to mentor you. But again, maybe this is not the best place that we can practice PHP. So So you have to do some effort on the back end by executing these examples that I'm going to pass to you, okay?
All right, sure.
Okay. So what I want to say is that I imagine, okay, no, let me just show you. So here, if you can see, sorry, totally, I'm totally sorry. I need to clean that here. Okay, so again, this is a way to actually store the information, but this is not the way to retrieve it. So to be able to retrieve it, okay, so you have to start the session again. So on every PHP file, if you want to use a session or a session data, you have to always use session start.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And then logged in, you already stored something inside it. Here, this is an if statement. So are you able to follow?
Yeah, can you repeat back?
Okay, I can repeat. So again, on every file that you want to retrieve the session information, you need to actually call session start. Okay, so, and again, this is a way to retrieve the session information. So I also need to use the session keyword, same like before. I need to use the square brackets and the double quotation, and then I need to put the variable name that I used to store the information before. But here I'm checking, I'm using the equality operator to check what is stored inside logged in. Previously, I stored true. Can you see here? So here I'm storing information. And if you call it back like that, so this is like you are actually here trying to retrieve information and check if it contains true or not. You're checking if true is stored inside here. If it is stored, it means that you already passed the login page and you are already here or somewhere else. We don't know. It can be another place. Maybe you are inside the lessons page, not the dashboard. But what we want to know that logged in means that you already passed your username and password and you already succeeded in that. So that's why you have true here. So did you understand what I said? Or confused?
I managed to get a few bits and pieces here and there, but yeah, I think I got the gist of it. What you're trying to
tell you. Okay.
Tell me, yeah.
So again, this will not go inside your brain because again, we are talking without real practice. You have to practice that code. You have to try this code from far away from the project. And typically, my advice always, when the project start to get bigger, sometimes you need to create a side place just to test small pieces of code before you put it in a big project. Okay, so this is typical practice. So I would say before you start even using that in the project, start trying to use that code. Okay, set sessions and try to retrieve them. So here I'm trying to retrieve a session. I'm trying to put an echo. You know what echo does?
Not sure exactly.
Okay, so echo will actually print something in your web page. Okay, so it just will print line in your on a web page. Okay, so if you want to print something, you know the print system.out.print line. So this is exactly what echo does. It will just, this is a text that it will print, and then it will retrieve the username that is stored inside the session, and it will say, so if Daniel is stored inside or Jondu is stored inside username, so it will say welcome Jondu. Similar to what we have done, but here he's using dot to concatenate the two strings, and we are using plus inside Java, if you can remember. And then this if statement also say that if this login is not true, we will echo on the page please log in first. It means that the user have not passed in the login page. Okay. So this is a way that during the session, during the user session, when the user enters website, he already entered a session, and this session persists until he exits the web page, until he totally exits the website. When he totally exits, then all the session is destroyed. All the information that we saved inside the session here will not be saved anymore. So if you want to save anything related to the session, you have to save it to a file or a database. But if you just want to keep the status of the user, what pages that he, maybe you want to measure the time that he spent on the website. Maybe not only that, maybe you want to keep track of the pages that you opened during his stay. If you are in a website that sells product, then maybe you want to see what actually information or what products he put inside the shopping cart. So this is a way to actually save information from one page to another. Okay, did I make myself clear so far?
Yeah, you made yourself clear.
Okay, again, you will have a deep understanding once you start to practice. Okay. So I would say before you even start to use or program your login page, try these codes first and see if it works or not. Okay. I would like to also tell you, if you want to move from one page to another, you have to use something called header. Have you got any information about header before? Did you use it before?
Yeah. I use it before, but sometimes it connects to other pages.
It doesn't work
Sometimes
properly with you.
it doesn't work quite properly. Maybe I did something wrong in the sense.
Okay.
But
So
when I asked my friend to help me, they actually fix it for me, but I never knew what
what he
went
did.
wrong. What he
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, understood. Let us, when you face any problem later, then maybe you share it with me, and then we try to dig and understand what is the issue. Okay.
All
So
right, sure.
yeah, okay. So since you know about it, I don't need to explain or waste the time here. Let me. Okay. One of the most important things that I want you to consider is the project folder structure. So I want you always to keep all the CSS files, if you have any, inside the CSS folder. So we will create a folder that's called assets, and inside assets, we will store the CSS files, the JavaScript files. So you will use this exact name /CSS/GS. So this, I mean, sorry, you don't, I mean, inside your folder, this is a folder, you don't put /CSS. No, slash means that it is a folder inside the assets. So this will be like assets folder. And inside the assets folder, we will have a GS, and we have another folder. Okay, so this is CSS and GS. This is for JavaScript. Any JavaScript files you put inside here. And maybe we have another for images, like that. Okay, so that is another possibility. So this is as a start. I will tell you more details later. Okay, fine so far?
Yeah.
Okay, did you hear or learn anything about the MVC model?
No.
Okay, okay, that's okay. Let me, yeah. So sorry, here is not very well organized, but anyhow. Okay, so did you know how to log in a message in your PHP project? Do you know what's the meaning logging in the first place?
Uh, is it like log? Is it like the message throughout the system,
Yes.
maybe?
Yes. Yeah. It's a kind of messages that you actually save to text files. So this is your key, one of the strong keys for you actually to troubleshoot and debug your project actually. Because sometimes your code will hang, or it will not work, or it will not work as expected, and you will never know what's the issue. Okay, and also the debugging and troubleshooting mechanism in PHP is actually not very comfortable and not so so easy like Java or even Python. So that's why we have to depend on a solid basis of setting up a logging system for us. Did you use log before? So
Log.
did you create text files where you are able to save information, uh, information messages? Like, did you use this kind of file put contents before?
I think I used it before. I just didn't realize it. I used that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would say that during your whole project, so you have to specify a folder where you are able to put all your log messages, and then you have to actually start to log messages. So this is an example. So instead of calling this file put contents every time, I would recommend making something similar to that, or even using this exact function. So this is a log message, and this is, you pass it the message that you want to store inside the file. And for every day, we have to create a new. So if I store messages for today, it will carry today's date. Okay. And tomorrow, I will not store in the same file. Tomorrow, when you run the website, you might have different issues, different errors. Maybe yesterday errors you already fixed. You don't need to open yesterday log file unless you really need to look at yesterday issues if you didn't fix it yet. Okay, so every day we need to create a different file. So all this dirty work need to be done automatically here. So we need to always when we log our message, we need to put the date and even the hour and the seconds. Okay, so you use something like that to log an entry. So this is putting the timestamp, which is the date, an hour, and even the year and months and so on. And beside the message that you pass to it. So this is your original message. Okay, so you will need to put the timestamp. That will help us understand when this message was printed. So I would say, if you are trying to troubleshoot if the session works or not, so I will use log messages to check. I store this information in a session, but does it really keep this information stored, or is it always like that? So I'm able to even pass inside the message any text file. So I can say I am inside if statement, or I'm inside maybe this login page. So you need to find a way to always say to indicate where you are, because when the project gets bigger from you, you will see a lot of errors, and these errors you will not know this error actually come from which page. So I would advise, before you write a message like that, I'm inside if, you need to indicate which place you are. So maybe you write here login page, I am inside if. So by looking to here, yes, you know that you are inside if, but which page? Is it the login page, registration page, dashboard page, or which one? So yeah, only this way you're able to know that you are in a login. So again, start with this basic function, put it and try to use it, and then we will see it. I mean, you would start to discover that there is a way to improve so that you can know more details about the errors that you're facing. So just an example of log messages. So this is your function name that you already created above here. You are passing only a message. This date and time, you do it automatically inside here. And typically you have to state a file name. Okay, this look file name, I think it's stored globally. Okay, so now this is a message that you want to pass. So user login failed, incorrect username or password. So maybe another message, possible message, new student register with ID, this one. So by entering such information, you are actually able to know the user managed to log in or he failed. And what if he failed? To me, this message is not enough. You need to know what actually username he used, what password he used. So you can check, is it the problem is in your database? Is it the problem is in your PHP code? So this is the only way for you to troubleshoot what is the issue. Did I manage to explain that correctly to you? Did you understand anything from what I said?
Yeah, I managed.
Okay, so I'm telling the information that I personally used when I'm building a website. So this is a very important thing I would like you not to actually ignore. So if you try it after this class and you did not understand what is that, you have to come to tell me that, and you have to tell me what issues that you face, and then we can work out from there. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so okay, I would like to tell you one last information before we start to move forward. Do you understand what the meaning post?
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
No, I've seen it often when I did a project last semester.
Okay, so okay, when you make your login page, so your login page will have two information, right? You need to pass username and you need to pass a password. Am I right?
Yeah.
And this is a place to put the user text. And then you have a button. And this button will call login. Did you use forms in PHP before?
Yeah, I used form before.
Okay, so this form, if it need to submit the login information, so typically this login is part of the form, and this will have the submit. Am I right? Inside the code, you will write the word submit, and the form will actually do this posting. So there is many ways that you actually can call PHP code. So this is UI. This is a user interface. And from the user interface, you would like to call PHP function. This PHP function, inside it, that will be called by the submit, you need to check for this. You need to put an if statement and check. Is it the request method from this login button is actually equal post or equal get? So typically, most of the forms that we use for authentication, we use post. So that way you will make your server secure. It means that if somebody tried to hack and maybe hack your login page or try to enforce that he keep giving username and password, so by putting this statement inside the PHP code that you're trying to call from your login here and checking this, if it is post, then you execute the code to check if the username and password match the one in the MySQL. Okay, so by doing so, you actually avoid that if the call is using get, then you do not process the user and you show him just an error. I think I am getting you confused because maybe you didn't listen or hear before about HTTP methods. So any form of submission can actually work in a few modes. One of the methods is called post, another one is get, and there is a put and there is a delete. But we focus more on post and get. So in our case, any form that we want to do any authentication or any submission of information that the user input here, if you are taking user input like this, and even when you are registering a new user, so the button that you will put for user to click, you will have to use the post method. If you do not really understand, let me see if I have a code here. Maybe I didn't provide any code. Let me try to search if I have an example seeing here. Let me see post. Hopefully I can find something that I'm able to share. Yeah, okay. That is good. So if you can see here, can you see that line?
Yeah, you can see that line.
So okay, once you click on the login button, you will actually call a function to check, to go to the database and check if the username that you already put actually matches the one in the database. So it means that you have to query the database using SQL and check. But before you do that, you have to do this if statement. So if you don't understand it, just always use it. Just use this if statement, and inside it, you actually retrieve the information. So do you see post here? Do you see this post? Did you ever use that before?
I think I used it before.
Okay.
Yeah, I used it before.
You used it before. So again, maybe you did use it to actually retrieve the information here. So once you submit this form using post, so the information will be stored in the $_post. So here there will be your password that you already enter here, and maybe here it would be your username. So you need to save that into variables. You create variable username and password, and you use that two variables, username and password, to actually query your table. So this is a SQL statement where you actually query your database table if you really have a username and password under these names. Did you understand what I said, or is it a bit confusing?
Yeah, I think I get what you're trying to say. Yeah, tell me.
Okay, okay. So we will see. Even if you are not able to use this line first at the start, it is totally fine that you try to just get the username and password, and later on we can add this kind of if statement because it's like a protection way to just make sure that we are really responding to. So this is a kind of security. This is a kind of security protection on your website. I understand that in your case, most probably then your website is not exposed to hacking because you are not putting it on a real server. You are just executing it on your computer. Okay, but this is the correct way to do things. So we will also try to learn the correct way to do things. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So I will stop here and let us try to move to Java. Do you think you're able to run these code examples and test it on your own, or it's too difficult for you to do that?
I think I can run the code and test it on my own.
Okay. Honestly.
Yeah, honestly, I have a few. I'm using Laravel right now, so I think I can. Yeah.
You sure you want to use Laravel?
Yeah, because my supervisor asked me to use it, so
Oh, okay. He asked you
I'm
to use
using
it.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. So how far did you go through Laravel?
Just go through the basic on how to create the file and everything. I'm still trying to figure out the bits of pieces here and there. That's all.
Okay, okay,
It's still in the learning process.
okay, okay, okay. No problem. Okay, then good luck in this one. Okay, and
All right.
actually that will somehow a little bit save your time if you're using a framework instead of just writing only PHP. But you need to figure Laravel because yeah, Laravel is not yeah, it will take some time to learn from you the Laravel. I'm not sure why they need to push you towards Laravel, but okay, since maybe they have an opinion on that. Okay, no problem. So are you able to share with me, please, your solution?
Sure, for the homework, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you seeing my screen or is still loading?
It's still loading. So can you tell me how did you manage to solve that?
So I managed to solve it using by creating a temporary number inside the code, and then the number I will and use the if statement.
Mm-hmm.
Use the
Okay.
if statement. Use the if statement to compare each number, and then the sum of the if sum of the number, I put the temporary number inside so it can compare it, and it can compare the number, and it can what's the word?
Okay.
It can compare it, and
Okay.
so
That's
it gets sorted in the descending or in the descending in its position.
okay.
Meaning,
Okay. Okay. Uh, okay. I'm just yeah trying to understand here. If number two is, did you try it with different inputs?
yeah, try with different input.
Okay. If num2 bigger than num1, so okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Just give me examples, please. I mean, I need to see how it works.
Okay, sure. Okay, let's do it
Put
like
0,
0.
5, and 10. Okay, and run again. Put 3, 10, and 1. Wow, I'm amazed. Okay, okay. Run again. Let me see. Hmm. 10, 5, 1. Okay, run again. 1, 2, 3. Hmm. Interesting. That's interesting, really. Okay. Okay, that's well, I never see this solution before, but it seems it works. Okay, so
It's a little bit a lot of try and error here and there. So I asked my friend how to do this. He says to do this, to do that. Then okay, then maybe I figure out another solution.
Okay, but
Then
please, I want to I want to keep that code. That code is the first time ever I've seen something like that. It seems that it is not so complicated, but it works, and that is the most important thing. Okay, fine. Uh, uh, maybe it's not the most efficient way, but it works. So that is, as a start, it's great. I mean, okay, that's great effort. Okay, now let me teach you something. Are you able to make a function for me, a method that I give it two numbers and it returns the biggest?
give me what?
So, okay, you see here this method? It's taking three input, 1, 2, 3. Now I don't want that. I just want to make a function that is called maximum, and it takes two input, number 1 and num2, and it should return the biggest, the biggest number of those, or the highest, or the top number. It will return to me. So it will return. So if I pass it 10 and maybe 2, so it will choose that 10 is the highest, so it will return 10 to me. So
Okay.
if I pass it here 20 and here is 10, so it will return 20 to me. Do you understand? I think it's quite simple.
Yeah.
What do you think? You are
Yeah, I
able
understand.
to, yeah, okay, that's good.
Okay, so should I put inside the same code here or
Yes,
put
yes, please, yes, definitely, yes. So just write the code here. Before and or after, you can start here also. So you still start with public static, but not void, because we're going to return something.
we're going to return
Double,
double, right?
yes. You see the function called max, yes. Excellent. Okay, that's good. Pass it two doubles. Excellent. I see improvement in the way that you write things. So that is excellent. Okay.
Okay, so you want me to return.
I mean, wait, you don't need to write immediate. I'm just explaining here.
Okay, sure.
You can use an if statement. So it's totally up to you how you want to. Just compare these two numbers, compare them, and return to me the biggest. That's it.
Okay.
Excellent. Excellent. Yes.
It should only return one number, right?
Yes, it should, but it is what you're doing here is totally true. Yes. Okay. That's excellent. Okay. That's good. Excellent. Excellent. Yes. That's great.
Okay.
Okay. Can we use that? Can you test it with any with num1 and num2, but put it in a print statement, please?
I have to call out first. Max. No. Come on, then biggest number. Um,
You are trying to do something correct. It's true that this will not work here. So there is two choices for you. You either can put the print statement here, or you can put it before the return. Anything after the return will not be executed. Okay, you can run.
mm,
So you pass it 10 and 20, right? And it give you 20 back, right?
yeah.
Can you make another function that is called minimum, please? And it do the reverse. So it also take two numbers. And it returns the minimum number, which means that's the lowest one.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Excellent. You are actually, I can see a huge improvement. Excellent. Okay, run. So I would advise you to keep doing what you are doing at the moment. You are improving. So whatever you are practicing, keep doing it consistent always. And I believe the result will be excellent. Good. Okay. So you pass it. Okay. So may I know you pass it? Let me see. Let me see. Again, can you go up? You pass it 18 and 20, right? And it give you
Yeah.
18. So is that correct?
Yeah, because we're comparing only two numbers, right? Number one and number two.
Okay, that's excellent. Can you please, I want to actually ask you one thing. Okay, go down. Can you make a new copy from this method? Go down more, one more time. Yes, I want you
Which one?
to make another copy from this function.
Sure, this
So
one?
no,
Oh,
this
this
one,
one.
this one.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
So I want you to call it display sorted number 1. So just a copy from this and you call it 1. But I want you to copy because if you didn't, then we will override that. I don't want you to override that.
We're in the same page, right?
Same page, yes. Okay. So you please close the brackets. Yes, excellent. Okay. So inside it, I want you to call the maximum method and the minimum method.
Was it Lux? Call again.
But at the same time, I would like you to actually to can you save this? So this method is getting you something, right? So can you save it somehow? Do you know how to save the return from a method like that? Any idea?
Save. No, I don't.
Okay, let me
No.
remind you again. So if we have a method that have a return statement, it seems like this maximum number, a minimum number. So we
Okay.
can say double maybe max like that. We can say, and then we call max num like that, and you pass it the input, and then we define another double
Okay.
minimum. Okay, so it means that this will come here, and then once you define another double minimum, then you will move it here.
Oh, okay. All right. Now I understand.
Understand?
Yeah. like this.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
All right.
Okay. Are you able to put a print statement to tell us the result of this maximum and minimum? So you are saving a variable maximum and minimum. We want to get something out printed here to tell us what is the maximum, what is the minimum.
Okay.
Okay, please call this method from the main so that we can test it. Did you call it? I don't think you call it. I see that still grayed out. I want you to call that. Okay, so
Oh, okay. I didn't call it. Okay, so I didn't
yes,
call it.
no problem. It's okay. You just remove. You put one here. Just no. I mean, you don't need to
Oh.
change it. Just put one here. That should do the job.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yep.
All right.
That's good. Okay. Now run, please.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a lot of print statements. So my advice to be able to avoid that confusion, because there is a lot of print statements that's going on, we want to focus on the print statement inside the display. So you see here, there is a print statement here, and this maximum do a print statement, and also the minimum do a print statement. So we want to remove the print statement or comment them in maximum and minimum. So we focus only on the print statement here. Can we do that?
Yeah, sure.
So go to max. No. I mean, okay, that's fine. Totally fine. Yes. What you're doing is correct. Comment here. Yes. Yes. And then go to the definition of the maximum number function. Yes. So I want you to comment that also. So we needed that print statement when we was troubleshooting the function, and we didn't know if it works or not. Now we know it works. So we comment also here. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, you run again. Okay, so is it what you are putting here is correct or wrong? The maximum number are 18 and the minimum number is 15. Is it true? The
Yeah, it's
minimum is
true.
okay, it's correct, but 18 is not the maximum, is it?
No, because I think because we're still comparing.
Excellent. I
We're still
understand.
comparing num1 and num2. Then
Excellent.
compare num3.
Okay, so let me again highlight to you this maximum number. We are using it in this method, right? The method
Yeah.
is called display, right? So this is called helper method. The concept of using helper method to simplify the code, it's great. So you don't have any if statement here. You just only focus on getting the logic done for you. Okay, now I want you to use maximum number again. Do you see this number, this input?
Yeah.
Okay, I want you to replace it with the following. So this, you will remove num2 and you put max num, and then you open bracket and you pass num2 and num3. Are you able to do that? Confusing?
Oh wait, sure. So that means I just have to replace the num2 and make it
With
like
a function call. A function call, a new function call that takes num2 and num3. Yes, exactly. Okay, try to run, please. So can you see now what we did? We managed to get the maximum number. Am I right?
Yeah.
Previously, you was not able to do that, right?
Yeah, you previously just read until num2, right?
Yes. So can I know, do you understand this after we added this maximum number? Do you know why we added it here?
Because we are calling the function. We're calling the function inside of a function, but we already used the function of num2. We compare the num2 to the num3.
Okay,
Right?
what? Yes, true. You true. So when we compare num2 and num3, which one will return? So this is, and in this case, this is num1, this is num2, this is num3. If we pass num2 and num3 to maximum, which one will return? Num2 or num3?
Num3.
Num3 will return. So actually, before we start to execute that function, which is the first function that we call, we have to actually get a result from the inside call first. So this, we have to get a result from it. So the result will be num3 because we are using the return statement. So this will be removed and then they will give us num3 as the highest. So we will call that maximum using num1 and num3. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Or it's confusing?
Yeah, I understand.
Really? Really?
Maybe a little bit. I trying to keep understanding. But yeah, I think I kind of get the gist of it. It's like we're replacing the num2 inside of the max num. The max num function. Then the max num from num2 is when we put it inside and we put it inside as another function. That means you read the function again, but instead of reading the num2, you're reading as you're reading the function as num2 and num3.
Okay.
Right?
Yes. And another way, if you are confused from this kind of one whole line calling like that, we can simplify that. So we can, there is another way. I will tell you the code for that. Just if you are confused, that will, I believe, simplify the thing. So we can say double temp, for example, and we say temp max like that, and we say maximum num, and we pass it num2 and num3. So this is exactly like that, okay? And then I replace that whole line with what follows. So I say double max, like that. This is exactly, okay, max num, and then I pass it two variables. I don't call a function again here. So this is num1. I put it exactly the same. So this is num1. And then I get temp max. So what temp max have, it actually will be saving the highest number from these two. So if num2 is bigger, then num2 will be saved in temp max. So if I know that these two numbers, the highest is num2. So if I want to find the highest of the three numbers, I will compare num1 to the highest of these two. So definitely here, I will be able to get the highest number of the three values. Is that clear or it's more confusing?
Actually, I understand more on
This one,
uh
this one.
the
You
first one.
understand this one is more clear than this?
Yeah, more clearer than that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's then that is good. Okay. Then if we manage to find the maximum of the three, we need to find the minimum of the three. So okay. Now, okay, let me just give you a simple example here. So if we have 5, 6, and 10 as three numbers, and we want to find the highest, this function will actually tell you that this is a max. So we need to find the minimum. To be able to sort them, so we need to find the maximum and the minimum. And not only that, we need to find the middle value. So, okay, but we focus first on finding the minimum and the maximum. If we find both of them, we are able to start printing out all the numbers sorted. Okay, can you repeat? Do you see what we have done here? So we want to do here, remove num2 and put minimum num and pass it num2 and num3. So it is exactly same here, but since we are searching for the minimum, we remove num2 and we put that function call. Does this make sense or it's confusing?
No, it makes sense.
Because it's exactly the opposite for this.
Yeah. Like this, right?
Yes, exactly. Okay. And okay, that's
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, run it. Let's try 12.
okay. So we managed to find the biggest and the lowest. So if you are able, I mean, when we are sorting, we're not only finding the highest and the lowest, we are also trying to do something else, right? We're trying to print them out arranged, right? So you are
Yeah.
able to print the first and the last, but in the middle, you're not able to print it out. How can you print it out? By finding the middle. So you want to find the middle, you say double mid, mid, which is short for middle, and we say what? We say we want to add the three numbers. So add these three numbers here, num1, num2, just add num2 plus num3. So when you add them, and then you subtract maximum and also subtract minimum. So the remaining here will be the middle value. So if I know that this, like you already put here 12, 13, 14. This is 12, 13, 14. I know that the maximum is 14. And I know that the minimum is 12. So if I add here 12 plus 13 plus 14, can you add them, please, and tell me if you add 13, 14, and 12, 13, 14, and then you subtract the maximum, and then you subtract 12.
Uh, 13.
So the result is 13. So this is the middle value. Am I right?
Yeah.
So you are able to then, if you know the maximum and the first number that you need to print out and the last number that you need to print out, then you will definitely be able to print the one in the middle. Am I right? By doing so. So by this equation, you are able to get the mid number. I know that this is a new ideas. I mean, this is not the usual way to do things, but again, the more you know tricks of solving problems, that will actually improve your mindset.
Also, I should write the code, right?
Yes, yes. But in this case, when you sort, you don't need to write actually this. I mean, you don't need to write the mid number is. I just want you to arrange the numbers. So can you arrange the numbers, print them arranged? Are you able to do that? Like you did before from your initial, you remember this? I want you to copy that line.
Okay, this one.
Yes. And then you put inside it the number arranged. I believe you should be able to put, right? Or it's difficult?
Just put in one line, right?
Yes, exactly, one line. So which one you should put first?
Max.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, run please. And give it also 12, 13, 14. Okay, is that the arranged one that you expect to get?
Max is 14.
This is excellent.
The mean is 12, and the mid is 13. Yeah.
Okay, so typically when we have a number arranged in a descending order, we should say 14, 13, 12. Am I right? But
Yeah.
here this is what? So the minimum should be the last. Am I right?
Right.
Not 13. You're putting the minimum as a second. but the
Oh,
minimum number should be at the end. I mean, if we are arranging,
if we're arranging descending order, right?
yes. So what do you think? Is it just a matter of swapping this and this?
Yeah, it's just a matter of swapping the mid and the min.
Okay. So, but did you understand the concept? No need to do it now. I mean, if you understand, then the concept itself, what I want to tell you, that we managed to find the solution in 3 lines. And this, we can never achieve it if we don't have a helper function. So this is, I want to teach you, this is not only in Java, in every programming language you will learn. If you manage to do helper functions, it will simplify your code. So every time you need to find maximum and minimum, you are able actually to employ that methods, minimum and maximum. So you can reuse it many times, as much as you want. Okay. So I want you to always write smaller function that, this is a small, very small function that compare only two numbers. And then I can use it as a building block to build bigger functions, to do complex tasks like this sorting. Okay. So if I'm building a house, I need to use bricks, right? The bricks have a smaller size. The bricks is not a whole wall. If I want to build a wall, they will be built out by putting bricks on top of each other. Am I right?
Yeah, correct.
So this is your bricks here. If you learn to build correct bricks, it will be a great thing for you in your project. Okay? Am I clear so far? Is that
Yeah.
difficult for you at the start? I
No,
know
no,
you need to practice, but
no, yeah, I need practice, but yeah, I think I understand what you're trying to say, and I just need a lot. I just need to practice the code. That's all.
okay, that's good. Okay, you're off your share, please. Can you see my screen? I think yes, you will start to see it.
Yeah, I can see your screen.
So, okay, now you see this two if statement, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what does this two if statement checking?
Mm, One is finding the remainder of x,
Mhm.
and it says that it's not equals to, if it's not equals to 0. Oh yeah.
Can
And
can
then,
can you please write that code first, please?
yeah, sure.
Is that clear so far? What?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. What did you do so far?
I'm trying to write the else word, the last else. Okay. All right, I think I'm done.
Did you run?
About to. Yeah, I got X is odd positive.
If you put here x equal 10, it will give you odd positive. You sure?
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Give me odd positive.
Okay.
Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't put the if bracket correctly. If X is more than 0.
Okay. What about if you put x equal 11?
Yeah, I still get the same
This means something is
answer.
not correct. Okay. Now share with me your code, please. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I got that. Okay. Now, okay. No problem. It's okay. So the issue here that this if statement should go inside here, this block. So this whole thing like this need to move inside here. Yes. Okay. That's excellent. So you remove the extra bracket. Yes, that's correct. Now run, please.
Arrow here. We have the little bracket. Okay.
Okay, now put x equal 10, please. It doesn't print anything, huh?
Yeah. Maybe is inside here.
Wait, we are missing a bracket because you didn't close. So this else, it seems that it is working with this else is working with this if. We want the else to work with that if. So it means that where is the closer for this bracket? You have to close this bracket.
This one.
No, it's wrong. So you have to put another, yes, bracket. You can put it here, yes, yes. So now this is closing that. Okay, now run.
Okay.
Now, did you understand what happened? Are you confused from?
My brain's trying to process this.
Okay,
Okay, so okay. Yeah, I think I got it.
you got it.
Yeah, I think I got it. Maybe because I didn't close the right bracket maybe inside each statement.
Yes, correct. Yes,
That's
true.
why you read the wrong. It read you write the correct line, but at a different position.
Exactly. Yes. You managed to understand that. Yes, it's correct. So okay. May I understand when this? Can you tell me what is the condition that will make this line printed out?
When we put an X as an odd number, as odd positive number.
So if it is odd but it is not positive, it will not execute that line, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So actually, okay, now you off your code, please, and then let me share. So this what we call a nested if. So again, if you just confused, so this bracket, this is the start, this is the end, and this is the start, and this is the end. So this is just to avoid for you from confusing. Okay. So again, we call that nested if, and then there is another way to rewrite that nested if, but we need to understand first this page here. So did you understand before that we have logical operators that is called and another one called or, and a third one called not? Did you hear that before?
Yeah, when I learned discrete maths, I actually kind of learned that description. No, yeah, no, I learned truth table. Sorry.
Truth table. Yes, exactly. Yes. So this and is represented in Java by 2 ampersand like that, and this or is represented like that. So and this not is also represented like that. But I think these two, you know the truth table, right? You don't need me to explain to you the truth table. Am I right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about this? Do you understand what this not operator does?
It shows that not two is not 2 equals to 3. It's not the same number as logically, right? Doesn't say it's false.
You're touching the truth, but you didn't reach to the exact target. So okay, let me first forget about this not. Imagine we don't have it. Is it 2 equals 3?
No.
If we put that in an if statement, what is the result?
The if statement,
I mean,
the
if
result is
this condition is false, right?
yeah,
Okay, because 2 is not equal to 3, right?
correct.
So if I put the not operator like that with something false, it will invert it. So that if I evaluate not with false, it is equal true. If I put not with true, it is equal false. Is that clear or confusing? The purpose of the not operator is to invert the Boolean expression that you have here.
Yeah, it's
Clear?
clear, it's clear.
Okay, so if the condition here, if the condition result is false, it will invert it to you to become true. Okay, so it is also similar, a bit similar to saying 2 not equal to 3. So this is similar to that. So if you say, I want to test if 2 is not equal to 3, it results in true. Am I right? This condition evaluate to true, right? Or no?
Yeah. Two not evaluates to true, correct.
Because they are not equal, right?
Yeah.
So if I say here 3 not equal 3, that will evaluate to true or false?
3 not equals false.
Okay, that's good. So this, by putting the not operator in this way, somehow equivalent to that. So if you don't understand or if it's confusing to you to see the not like that, put it here like that. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Okay. So again, let me confirm. If we use an AND operator, we are telling the computer, please make sure that this condition and this condition, both of them is true. Then you can execute the next statement. So in short, these two lines, these two if statements, it's checking that this is x is odd, and also it's checking that x is bigger than 0. So we are able to rewrite that condition, these two if statement, into one. So we put the first condition and the second condition. Both of them must be true to be able to execute that statement. Did you understand me so far?
Yeah, I understand.
If it is confusing, we'll talk about it next class. So far,
Okay.
is everything fine?
Yeah, I managed to get what you're trying to say.
Okay, then see you next class. Take care.
All right.
Thanks a
Okay,
lot.
thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.